up so I can see. Just nice and on your lap. All right. Fold up your first one, and at the bottom, you are going to put stem and leaf plaits. You are going to put stem and leaf plaits right at the bottom part of it so that when it's folded, you can see this section is going to have stem and leaf plaits.
What's the next section?
See how on Maggie's you can see stem and leaf plaits so that when she folds it up, she will then be able to see all of her notes. So it'll say stem and leaf plaits on the first tab that you see. On the top, you will need to write the definition of a stem and leaf plait. I will read it to you. Pencils up so I know that you are ready.
No. Can we use the same key as the
The same way. You will. Stem and leaf plaits. Use digits of data values make sure, put this on the top cover. Your definition will go on the top. Sorry. So use the digits of data values to organize a data set. Each value is broken into a stem, digits to the left, so in parentheses you'll put digits to the left, and leaf, and then in parentheses digits to the right. So I will read it again. Stem and leaf plaits. You use digits of data values to organize a data set. Each value is broken into a stem, which are your digits on the left, and leaf, which are your digits on the right. Once you have your definition written, show it to me so I can see that you are ready. All right, for those of you that are still writing, you may continue doing so. For those of you that are ready, your next step, I want you to write this data set right at the top. So I put example, you can put data set. The numbers are 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 14, 18, 23, 23, 30, 36, and 55.
Wait, I have a question about the stem and leaf sets. Why is it like 100, like a number of 100?
That's something we'll talk about in a second. All right, below your example, you are going to write steps. So the steps to making a stem and leaf plait. step 1, order the data. So just like we've done in the last unit, putting it from least to greatest. So you need to put the data in order. Step 2, choose the data for the stem and leaves. So for this example, we're going to do the stem as your tens and your leaves as ones. So step 2 is choosing which data will represent your stem and which data will represent your leaves. Maggie had a good question. She said, what if we have it in the hundreds? Well, you maybe then want your stem to be your hundredths places and your leaves to then be your tens and ones. So I could have this being 100, and then I would have 0, 4 for being 104, or 8, 4 for being 184. So for this, because we don't go into the hundreds, we only have tens and ones, our stem is going to be our tens, and our leaves are going to be our ones. Step 3, write stems on the left side.
I don't have the data set.
Put the data set on.
But there's no room.
So your stems are going to go on the left. So all your numbers that are in the tens place would go on the left. These are going to be written vertically. Your step 4 is to put the leaves on the right side. They are going to go horizontal.
Wait, I have a question.
So let's look at this for instance. Our first one is a 2. Is there a number in the tens place here? No. No. That's why I have a 0. So 0, 2, meaning 2. My next one is 3. Same thing. There's nothing in the tens place. So I have 0, 3. And then I have the same for 5 and 6. Then once I get into 10, I now have a 1 in the tens place. And I have 3 numbers that have a 1 in the tens place. 10, 14, and 18. Even though 10 doesn't have a digit greater than 0 in the ones place, you still need to put it in to let whoever is looking at your data know that this isn't just 14 and 18, but there is a 10 as well. So you still need to put in a 0 if you have a 10 or a 20 or a 30. Notice for number 4, do I have any data for 4? For the 4 being in the 10th place? Why not? Maggie?
Because it goes from 36 to 55.
Because it goes from 36 to 55. What would happen if I then didn't include that 4? Emery?
The stem would be broken.
The stem would kind of be broken. You need to have it in order. So even if you don't have data for one of these, you still need to put that number in to have that consecutive order. So it's kind of like, yeah, if I had a tree outside and I broke it, well now it's not going to grow, it's not going to work. So I need to make sure even if I don't have anything in the 40s, but I do go to the 50s, I need to still put that in there as that placeholder. Now I don't have to go above 50 because there's nothing above it where I need any more placeholders. So you only need to go in between the data in which you are given. The last thing you need to do, like any good graph, is to have a key. So this is explaining to your reader, what is my stem and what are my leaves? So I just took any example, and I have key is 1 with that dividing line to 4, meaning that would equal,
Miss Foreman, for number 2, do you have to write the underline, the coded things?
the tens are the stems and the ones are the leaves. If that'll help you, you may want to. So the key here is my 1 is on the left side, my 4 is on the right, so that would equal 14. don't have a key, then I might be unsure as to what exactly you want in your stem and your leaves. So if you wanted this to be your hundreds, and you didn't tell me that 1 to 4 equals 104 or 140, I might assume then anything. So that's why you have to tell me what your key is. What does your stem and leaves equal? Are there any questions so far? All right, once you have all of this written, give me a thumbs up. If you're still writing, by all means, keep writing. All right, for those of you that are ready, please write this on your whiteboard or your notebook. And make a stem and leaf plaque. So you have 12, 8, 6, 19, 22, 40, 19, 25, and 27. So make a stem and leaf plaque.
In our book, when it showed doubles, it just showed 1, 3. Do we have to write both?
For
20.
the 23, yes, you want to write both, because if someone were to then take this and rewrite the data, they want to see that there is 23 twice. So I'd want to know that, yes, there is.
But the book says it only once.
I'll have to look, because when I looked, it had this example with it twice. But if you were to see this, you'd want to know that there were 2 sets of 23, right? Not just one. Yeah, so I'll have to look at you have to show me the problem where it said that. She didn't know it once. Make sure you include your key.
Why is there only one? Don't you have to write a 0 for the 4th?
Is there any 40s?
Oh, no.
No, so if you put a 0 in here, that would tell me that there was a 40 in here where it's not.
Okay.
Good question, though. Because there's no 10s. All right, once you have it done, share with your partner. See if your stem and leaf plaques look the same. So the key is you choose anything on here, you will be able to know that.
Hey, I noticed one difference there. There's a difference.
So pick something, pretty much one of these, and then you're gonna tell me.
There is a rule.
So if I choose 19, my key would be 1,
It has to be in order
9, which would equal
from lowest to
19.
highest.
Because you're telling me your
Only
in
because
your
if
1s
you're
is
ever
the
like,
10, in your 9s is the
if you're ever
1.
trying to find like a median and things are out of order, you could end up messing up
The
by
key is to
accident.
explain to me what are you using for your stem and for your leaves. Are you using 25 or
But is everything else the same?
your stems? And what exactly are your stems?
How do you do 0? What about the 6 and 8? I don't like the